Hi, my name is Peggy, and this is my channel, Bespoke Ability Sewing. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Today is Friday, so it is another episode of Friday Sews. This is my 28th episode, and I am thrilled to be here, and I'm thrilled you're here too. Thank you. Friday Sews is a hashtag that was started by Today in Jen's Sewing Room as a way to bring the sewing community together. So thank you, Jen, and thank you also, again, for joining me. I really appreciate it. So this week has been a bit of a mix. Some good, some not so good, some And so I'll start with the which is the dress I made for my Make 9 reveal last Tuesday. That was my fourth make, and I used a fabric I really like. And I like the dress, but I'm not wild about it. At any rate, if you want more details about that, I will link that video below. So after I made that dress, I wanted to make something that I knew I would like, and I made a pair of Pietra pants. The tapered leg version. This is my fourth pair. Now, I used a fabric from Mood. It is stretch woven cotton, and it's textured with paisley print, and I love paisleys. In fact, if you watched Michelle Sews Again's latest video, which is a fabric haul, she has the same fabric, which was funny because I was watching it as I was sewing the fabric and said, hey, wait, that's the same thing. Any rate, I find I say at any rate all the time, so I'm going to try and change that. So I made Pietra's. I didn't make any changes. Well, I made two changes, nothing substantial. So for one thing, I narrowed the elastic in back. The instructions tell you what size, what length of elastic to use for the back waistband, and going by size. And I've done that up until now. And this time I just went down a ½ inch on it, and it was the right call, I think. And then the other change I did is I faced the hem. So I did that hoping to give me a little more versatility with the pants, so I can wear them with the hem turned down just like normal, or I can roll them up, and if I roll them up, you'll see the right side of the fabric. And I'll try and put up a picture here of what the hem facing looks like. Any rate, I like that you can see the right side of the fabric when my pants are rolled. So all I did was trace out the pants pieces, the pants pattern pieces, and made them about 6 inches tall, and then sewed them together, and they went together very easily. I stitched in the ditch at the inseam, the side seam, and the middle seam in front. The only thing I would do differently next time is to shorten the facing. It doesn't need to be 6 inches. That's just excessive, and I can't stitch in the ditch that far anyway. So I tacked everything by hand, but I'm figuring 3 inches should be sufficient because I can't see folding up my pants more than that, but you know, who knows, we'll see. But that's my idea. So then I made those pants, was very pleased with them, and thought, okay, I need a new outfit. So I need a new top to go with it. Well, that's my it will be good. This version won't be good, but the idea will work, I think. So I made this, a little hard to see here, but this is the Wanda wrap dress as a top. And Wanda wrap dress is by Wardrobe by Me. I got the pattern in a So Haley Jane luxury box, I think last fall. And I liked it and I wanted to try it. And if you watch Teresa from Lost My Thread, she often does a Clash of the Pattern series, and she did one, I want to say it was during the summer or maybe the early fall, about wrap dresses. She compared 3 wrap dress patterns, and I won't tell you which one she chose as the winner, but I'll tell you what I chose as the winner, and that was the Wanda wrap dress. I didn't like the other two. Not what she did. I mean, she's a great seamstress, but I didn't like the style of the other 2 patterns, but I liked this one. So that was it inspired me to work on this. So this fabric, this is a cotton spandex jersey, a very poor quality, very poor. I have this in, or I had this in 3 colors. I had light blue, which I used to make a muslin of a t-shirt for my grandson. He still wears it, so that's good. And I also used the fabric to underline my grandson's Halloween costume. And then I also have it in a brighter pink than this. That's the only one that I have left now. But I figured this would be a muslin, and if I was lucky, it would be a wearable muslin. It's not. Because, I mean, if I were into crop tops, maybe so, but I'm not. I have a 65-year-old torso, and I don't feel like exposing it to the world. I'm not going to. Any rate, I did add some length to the bodice. So my idea was to make this as a shirt, as a top. And it has a wrap bodice, but the skirt is not a wrap skirt. It is one piece, or, well, it's multiple seams, but it pulls on. And so I thought and what I did was I traced down, I think about 6 or 7 inches on the skirt pieces. So I'll make essentially a peplum, but a very fitted one. Well, I didn't actually add it to this one because by that time I knew there was no way that this could be wearable. But it did sew together well. And there's also, Wardrobe by Me has a YouTube video sew along that was very helpful, and I'll link that below too. But it's very easy. Just make sure you mark everything. Now, the seam allowances are only 1/4 inch, so if you snip to mark things, you have to be really careful not to go too far. The only change I did, besides adding a little length to the sleeves, to the tie, and to the bodice, it has a grown-on facing at the neck, and I chose to serge that, finish it, just because I like that. Why not? So I put it together to the point where I needed to put on the skirt. And at that point, I tried it on and said, oh God, I am not wearing this thing, even in the privacy of my own home. It ended just under my bust. And that is probably 2.5, 3 inches too short. So I think this idea will work to make this into a top. I just need to fuss with the pattern a little bit more. Probably make another muslin. Maybe I'll use that bright pink fabric that's the same fabrication that I don't care about. Maybe I'll make it out of that. And now with the 1/4 inch seams, the only thing I found a little weird, and probably what I would change in the future, it has you on the right side of the bodice, you serge, they pretty much have you serge everything. So you serge up an inch, then you stop, then you go up another inch, then you serge the rest of the way. And then you cut into the serging a 1/4 inch. It doesn't make sense to me. Then flatten that out and sew around it, which there's only a 1/4 inch seam allowance, so it's there's not a whole lot there. And I just didn't feel that was really secure. So what I decided to do, instead of just serging, I did a stretch stitch on my sewing machine, and I sewed up 1 inch from the bottom. I stopped, then I went up another inch, sewed the rest of the way, or not the rest of the way, but several inches. And then I went and did my serger. Now at this point, I tried on the top and I knew I wasn't going to ever wear it, so I didn't bother finishing it. But I'm thinking, I just don't really like this opening for the tie. So I'm thinking I might try on my next muslin a buttonhole, probably just in front of the side seam. And I'd probably put that in and use interfacing and put that in before I sew the side seams. But I think that would work. I want to give it a try. So that's the Wanda wrap dress. I would like to make the dress version also, and I'm sure I need to add length to the skirt. It's 6 gores, and it's very graceful, very pretty, but I need to get the fit right on the bodice first. So there's that. Then let's see, I'm looking at my notes. I want to take part in a challenge. Now, I don't do challenges all that often, but Jess from So What If I Sew here on YouTube and also on Instagram is running a challenge called Sew Yellow for Endo. Endo is short for endometriosis. And she has run this for 3 years, I think, maybe 4, but at least 3. I've never participated, and I'm not officially participating. It's just I think I'd like to do it because I have several pieces of fabric in my stash that have yellow in them. And I was thinking about making them up this past February, but then I thought, well, I should just wait until March, make them then, and then I could enter them in the Sew Yellow for Endo challenge. So Yellow for Endo is to help bring awareness and funding to endometriosis research. And endometriosis affects many, many females. Doesn't affect me, not now at any rate, because I am of a certain age. But I have had reproductive system related issues, like I've had breast cancer, and my breast cancer was caused or exacerbated by hormones. Any rate, I know what it's like to have an issue that half the population probably doesn't deal with. I mean, some men do get breast cancer, but at any rate, I thought I would like to throw my hat in the ring and do something and support Jess in this effort. I think she's asking for a £1 donation to Endometriosis UK research, but I'm sure you don't have to do that. And like I say, I will link her channels below for all the details. So the 3 fabrics that I'm thinking of using, I want to make tops from all 3. So the first one is an Art Gallery cotton spandex jersey, and I do love Art Gallery. This is a fabric I bought on impulse from fabric.com about 3 years ago and just never got around to making, and it's very summery. So it has I'll put up a photo of it, but it has a yellow background, and then it has flamingos and toucans and palm trees, seashells, coral, fish, all sorts of summery, beachy type things. In fact, this is from the West Palm collection, which does seem fitting with the subject matter. So I want to make a t-shirt out of it. I'm not sure which one yet, but that's what I have in mind. Just a t-shirt, good to wear in the summer in my summery print. Now, you probably noticed in the photo of the fabric, there's a little blue flower that looks kind of like a pansy, but that doesn't make sense. I don't know, maybe it's a flower they have on the beach back east. I don't know. But whatever it is, I like it, and I like that color. And then there's a paisley in there that has that color and some seaweed. Well, excuse me. I have an offcut of fabric. It is a linen look suiting that I bought at Joann's. I really have no idea. Maybe 20 years ago. Maybe more. Any rate, it's that same blue. And I made a pair of pants out of it 20 years ago, which I don't seem to have anymore. And I don't know if they just fell apart or if I donated them, but I don't have them. So with the offcuts, I want to see if I have enough to make something to go with this t-shirt. And I'd like to make a pair of pants. We'll see. So that isn't my priority this week. I'm going to make the yellow things and my Make 9 make this week. But if I have a chance, I want to try and make some pants from this blue fabric. Okay, then the next fabric is a Lady McElroy cotton lawn. I got it in a Think Pink subscription box from Beyond the Pink Door. And I think that was last spring or last summer. I can't quite remember. And I like it. I didn't make it up right away because black fabric close to my face just washes me out. So at the time I was thinking, and this is still what I want to do, I could make a top that has a yoke and make the yoke out of white piqué. And if it needs buttons, I could use yellow buttons to go with the lemons and maybe make some yellow piping around the yoke. So that's still my idea. I don't know what pattern. I bought some broadcloth to make, some yellow broadcloth to make some piping. It's not exactly the right color, but I'll make a decision on that. And I have some yellow buttons. And I recently, in my recent mood purchase, I bought some white piqué because I couldn't source any locally. And so all I need to do is get that piqué in the wash and figure out what I'm going to make and then make it. Okay, and then my third idea, I have an ITY that I bought probably in 2008. It's yellow and white, and I made a tunic out of it. And now I'm tall, so I added length to the tunic, and I added way too much. The thing is a mini dress, and I don't wear mini dresses. It's also too big all over, and I'll put up a really unflattering photo of me in it that I took this week. I was wearing my bathing suit, had no makeup on. I was getting ready to go to the pool, but I wanted to take a picture of this top before I cut it up. So, not wearing my prosthetic. It's me. And I don't know if you can really tell how baggy it is in this photo, but it's certainly long. And I think I can cut a top out of it. So last summer I made this top, and I will put it up. I made it out of an ITY, and I really liked it, and I liked the fit. And I think that one would work out of this fabric. So the other night in front of the TV, I cut the tunic into parts. I didn't seam rip it because who has time for that? And plus, I'd already surged away the seam allowances, so I would have gained very little had I ripped it out. But anyway, I got to look at this. So Butterick 6847. It's a Palmer and Pletch pattern. The one I have is actually a McCall's pattern, but now they sell it as Butterick. And that's the pattern I'd like to make. I think I have enough fabric to do that. Not positive, but I want to give it a try. So I definitely have enough fabric of the cotton lawn and the cotton spandex jersey. I have enough fabric of those to make tops. I might not have enough of this yellow ITY, but I want to give it a try. Now, hopefully I will make pants at some point to go with the art gallery fabric. But for the other two tops, I just see those, wearing white jeans with those, which I might add is another benefit of being a woman of a certain age. You can wear white jeans with not a worry. So there's always that. And I do like that. I like that freedom. So I think that's all I wanted to tell you. Things are going well here. I'm still doing a lot of playtime with my grandchildren, but doing some sewing too, and for the most part having a lot of fun doing it. And I know I will get this Wanda wrap dress under control sooner rather than later. So hopefully I will have put up photos by now. If not, I'll do it now. But I will be back on Tuesday with my garment 5 of my Make 9 2024. And I keep changing my mind about what it's going to be. I told you on Tuesday that it was going to be the red silk fabric. Now it might not be. Anyway, I need to get my butt in gear and get this thing made. But I do have some ideas. So anyway, I'll be back on Tuesday with that. And then I hope to be back next Friday with whatever I've made, including my So Yellow for Endo makes. At any rate, thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you on Tuesday, I hope. Bye.